Introducing the all-new Subaru Forester with next-generation strong hybrid and over 1,000 kilometer range. The all-new Subaru Forester. Get ready to own the road and conquer the wild. Have it all-wheel drive with Subaru.
Welcome to Tarmac Life. We're here for the fun toys, cars, SUVs, utes, flights, hotels, because the journey matters too, and even the odd motorbike when we feel like living dangerously. Epic drives and unforgettable experiences, all served up with plenty of banter and zero boring nonsense.
On tonight's show, it's been 30 years in the making. We review the latest generation Subaru Outback. Dave's off to sunny Queensland to burn some rubber with Bridgestone. Harry wears a hat and becomes a distinguished gentleman. Plus, we've got an update on Thunder Ridge Motorsport Park, New Zealand's newest racetrack.
Kia and thanks for joining us on what is an action-packed season finale. But before we kick things off, I of course have a tantrum. And this week is all about basically curbs are bastards. I know it's a hell of a way to put it out, but they are out to really attack our alloy wheels. And if you look down any sort of, well, actually any car nowadays, you'll just find a little bit of curb rash and stuff like that. And it really does annoy me because I don't think we're just driving badly anymore. I just think that curbs are out to get us.
Yeah, it really is, and especially now when you get lower profile tires and rims that are just so wide, you really have to rely on 360 cameras and making sure that you lower your mirror really to make sure that you don't end up with a big bill.
I think the other big thing is, has this whole thing driven or rather encouraged people to go into SUVs then where they can just kind of ride the curbs and, you know, go over them. They don't need to bother with watching their beautiful diamond cut wheels be shaved off by curb rash.
Well, I mean, the thing is, back in the 80s, we had steel wheels and they were smaller and big sort of lots of rubber. And we could basically, actually we killed the curbs rather than the other way around. It was quite a good way to be. But nowadays, honestly, it's just they're so expensive to repair and we end up parking in the middle of the street to make sure that we don't do anything, which brings us on to a bad parking thing. But anyway, let's not worry about that.
Thankfully though, where we went recently, we didn't need any roads, and that was Cowrie Bay, where we reviewed the all-new Subaru Outback. That's on next. Let's start with a history lesson, and a nameplate like the Outback deserves something like that. It first debuted in the early 1990s. It was about 1994 when Subaru decided, let's take our executive sedan, the Legacy, and put it up on stilts, toughen it up a little bit with some cladding, and essentially launch it as the Outback. And basically, it was a runaway success from there, and we now have this, which is the 7th generation vehicle. It's safe to say that not just in New Zealand, but across the world, it's developed a cult following of its own. People who will drive nothing else apart from an Outback because it takes them from the city streets to the mountains, to the ski slopes, to the beach. It just does everything somehow. And the biggest talking point with this 7th generation vehicle is that it's now gone from being a lifted or raised station wagon to a proper SUV for the first time. So it's official, the Legacy is dead as of 2025. That's not necessarily a bad thing though, because Subaru have respected that history, that legacy, if you will, of this nameplate and decided that, okay, even if it's gonna be an SUV, it needs to have that look of a lifted wagon essentially. So you can see that it's got the length and it's got the styling. Big talking point with the front has to be the all-new grille, the split headlights here, and the LED daytime running lights. As I walk further around the side, you'll see that it has kept that ingredient of the Outback, which is all of this tough plastic cladding around. This is the base model Outback all-wheel drive, so you get these 18-inch wheels here. Now, as you can see, they have maintained that look of a wagon, so you've got that flat roof that comes along to the back here, this sort of quarter window as well. And in fact, as you get around here, you notice how long it is, and I've had several questions from people about the fact that, is this a 7-seater? No, it's not just a 5-seater, but what Subaru have done is give you plenty of boot space. You've got the tow bar down there, so the capacity is 2 tons brake towing. If I open up the boot, you get access to about 530 liters of boot space here underneath the shelf, which does have this really unique hammock type look to it, so allowing you to secure the load in the back very easily. Drop the seats down and you can expand that all the way up to something like 1800 liters, so its capacity back here is amazing. And again, flat floor all throughout and a very long length for your skis and things like that. Now, despite the fact that so much has changed with this new generation Outback, well, Subaru have still kept some of the key ingredients that have made this vehicle so loved over the years, and one of those has to be this boxer engine under the bonnet. Now, this particular Outback all-wheel drive comes with the 2.5 liter naturally aspirated flat 4, and that puts out about 134 kilowatts, roughly 180 horsepower in this particular variant. It drives all 4 wheels through that famous symmetrical all-wheel drive system, and it does have X mode to give you extra grip and change the mapping of the engine to allow you a little bit more capability off-road. The gearbox is a CVT unit, but it does have a manual mode. Again, stock standard Subaru and what we've come to expect from the brand. Now, with this move to being an SUV, you'll notice just how spacious the cabin has become. And it's not just where it really wins, it's also in its practicality. Now, an Outback owner needs to have an interior that's easy to clean. And so you've got the synthetic leather material on the seats, on sort of the key touch points. The lining on the dashboard and across to the doors is all a fabric sort of material, and again quite durable, quite easy to clean. Other key thing is the storage spaces. Now, you've got fairly generous size storage bin in the door for a large water bottle, and it is felt lined as well, so if you do throw keys and things in there, it won't jiggle about. You've got a nice sized glove box there, your 2 cup holders, a little nook here, I mean, space under the central armrest. You've got a shelf there for a phone. No wireless charging pad though, although you do have a USB-C and USB-A charging port over here. The other key thing with this Outback all-wheel drive is you do get heated seats for the 2 front occupants, and the standard 12.1 inch infotainment screen and 12.3 inch gauge cluster as well.
Big improvements, of course, with this new generation, but we all know that if you really want to take this to the next level, then you have to go for the Wilderness trim level. And it is the very first time that the Wilderness has been offered for the Outback here in New Zealand, and it just brings a plethora of new things that are super exciting and make this then the ultimate Outback, if you want to call it that. In terms of the actual functional differences, it is going to be that it is 20 millimeters higher in terms of ground clearance, so you can clear even more of the trails and tracks around here. But then the other things are mostly cosmetic. Of course, you get really easy to tell that you get this different front fascia in here with the golden accents that go around the whole car, and we will cover in a bit. Then, of course, you get a few stickers that are here on top of the bonnet, and then as you move towards the back, you get a few more badges as well. And then, of course, in this very case here, we get this in geyser blue, which is then just really bringing it up a notch in terms of differentiating it from the other SUVs that you see out there in the market. Around the back, then, the Wilderness keeps bringing things up a notch by replacing that LED bar that it has on the regular Outback, replacing it with this sort of a black element here that just masks the smaller reverse lights. And then Once you pop the boot open, of course, in terms of capacity, it is similar to what you would get in the regular Outback. And while Matt covered the space and the practicality, there are also a few other things of note in here across the whole Outback range. The first bit is that you get access to a full-size spare, super cool to see in 2026. And then the very last thing to cover in terms of the wilderness really is the fact that if you are keen-eyed, you will have noticed the dual exhausts that are down here at the back. They are, of course, connected to what is one of the other differences in the wilderness trim level. And that is, of course, because this top-mounted intercooler here should be the biggest giveaway that we are dealing with a turbocharged engine. So gone is the 2.5 naturally aspirated. In exchange, we get a 2.4 turbocharged engine that bumps the power by 60 kilowatts to 194 and 382 newton meters of torque. It is still connected to the symmetrical all-wheel drive through the Lineartronic CVT, so no changes in that regard. The interior, once again, is full of wilderness things just to make it feel a little bit more special. You get the golden accent as part of the stitching, of course, in the steering wheel as well, and then a few other things that will make it even easier to handle if you are just getting the car dirty. Of course, the finishing for the dashboard changes to this tetra pattern in here that is extended to the seats that also have the wilderness tags and also the embossing of the logo to the headrest. You get wireless charging for your phone, a heated steering wheel, and also heated seats for those that are sitting at the back, so then everyone can be warm on the way down from the ski slope. In terms of technology, the sizes and the system for the screen is the same, which is a big upgrade, but you get a little bit more features in terms of the EyeSight suite. Of course, your X mode is now improved from having just one mode to now having two, and you also get access to electronic dampers. Definitely better. I think we'll all show the bars.
Anyway, gents, it seems like both of these Outbacks have improved with this generation, but I just want to point out or want to work out which one is the better of the two. I can see you guys are already deliberating. So I've set a series of tasks for you guys to go through and basically jump in your vehicles and let's get going. So first task or first mission is to climb that hill against the clock. And since you're facing the right way, you can go first. So what we're going to hear is a honk in the distance, and that's when I start the clock and going to finish it once he crosses the line. Let's see who's best. First up is going to be Matt in his Outback all-wheel drive. And he's off.
Now, Dave has obviously set us this complicated hill climb challenge, and what we've got to do is go up this very wet and slippery hill, which is full of wet grass, always fun for any car with an all-wheel drive system. But I believe in slow and steady wins the race, and that's what I'm going to do, is take this hill at a steady pace, and I reckon I can beat Harry's lead foot that way.
Seems to be taking his time. It is Matt, so he is very slow. Hopefully he realizes this is a race against the clock.
Still, despite being as steady and as gentle as possible, there's still a bit of a handful, but I am using Subaru's X mode, and this Outback is doing a fabulous job at climbing this hill. Not just slow and steady wins the race, but I believe in old school. This 2.5 litre flat 4 symmetrical all-wheel drive system, which has held Subaru in good stead for many years.
Doesn't seem to be in a particular hurry. And he crosses the line.
And there we go. I reckon I've got it.
Let's just say he didn't break any land speed records. There you go. 56.61. That's an age.
Slow and steady wins the race.
It's not really a race if you don't go fast.
All
Okay, next up is Harry, and he's in his Giza blue wilderness, or wildebeest as I like to say. Hopefully, I mean, Harry seems to think he's a bit of a racer, but anyway, he's up next and we will see what he's got on offer.
Okay, that should be easy, right? With the extra power of the turbocharged engine, the better suspension, and then of course the extra X modes that I have, it should be no issues to beat Matt's time.
Make sure you try and treat it like a race.
All right, so we will go into my second X mode, which I just realized turns everything off in terms of traction control, which might not be the best way to go up this hill, but I'll just mash the throttle and see how we go, because we all know that this is how proper off-road is done, right? Right, I can see that there is still a little bit of traction control happening, but wow, it is absolutely not struggling to put the power down, even though the chassis is moving so much underneath.
So he does have the benefit of a greater ground clearance, and also, well, you'll think a superior driving capability, and also 2 X modes. So you'd hope he'll do better than Matt, but actually he's already up past the second thing.
And I can feel when the rear is doing its job, the front is doing its job, it is not struggling at all. And I think that I'll show how it is done.
Over the line. 32.69. So some would say he's twice as fast as Matt.
Talk to me.
What?
Talk to me.
Just a little bit slower than Matt.
Ah, come on.
32.69. You're twice as fast.
Twice as fast. How about that? And it all comes down. Better suspension, more power, the better X mode that I used really makes a difference.
What really inspires me? It's those moments of peace, of focus, of being immersed in nature. And wherever I find those moments, it's where I'm happiest, where I thrive.
The all-new Audi Q5 range is here.
Even though here at Tarmac we usually cover more car content, there is a fun fact that maybe not all of you know, and that is that I have been riding for pretty much the same time that I have been driving. And I have decided to rekindle my love for the 2 wheels because I was waiting for a very important event to happen. And this event is the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride that is going to take part in a month from now, give or take. And I have the opportunity that for tonight's Tarmac Torque, I get to talk to Bradley, who is the lead host for the Auckland chapter of this event. Bradley, thank you so much for making the time. Please tell us more, a little bit about DGR.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Harry. So DGR stands for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Don't let the name fool you. It's actually open to gentlefolk of all genders. And it is a global fundraiser for the Movember Foundation. It takes place in over 1,000 towns or cities and over 100 countries. This year, I think they're expecting over 100,000 riders globally. And within Auckland, we're aiming for 300 to 400. That'll match what we've managed to do in previous years. So it's a really cool day, full of a lot of cool activities beyond the ride itself. We usually have a band playing, and we also have a riders raffle where people can win prizes, including some workshop vouchers from where we are now. This is the Tuesday Club in Auckland CBD. They're one of the sponsors of the ride, and they're also one of the teams that's actually a big part of the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride here in Auckland. The way I talk about the event to people is I tell them basically it's a parade, because that's really what it is. It's not a fast ride, it's not a competitive ride, it's an opportunity to get out on some cool looking bikes and some cool looking clothes and really engage with the public in order to help raise awareness for the work that Movember do. And really the big thing that Movember do is they're focused on stopping men dying too young. Within the groups that we're talking about, the two big killers of men are cancer and mental health. Everyone who rides for their own reason. I first started riding in the DGR basically during COVID. For me, the ride is a great way to start conversations around men's health, whether that be encouraging men to go and get a health checkup with their GP, or whether that's around encouraging men to kind of build up a mental health toolkit so that if they need it or if a friend needs it, they know what to do. The good news is there's a lot of resources out there to help people. For anyone at any time, you can access something called Movember Conversations. It's this amazing resource full of things that can teach you how to have conversations with your mates around things like mental health. It's really good in two really key ways. One, it's got a whole stack of resources. Like you can just go there, type something in, say, hey, I'm thinking about this. It'll pull something up. The other way that it's really good is it has sort of a general purpose tool in place, an acronym that can help you think about how it is that you're going to have conversations with other people, to provide some structure to kind of give you something to hold on to in those times when you're unsure of what to do or say next. Starts with ask. Practice asking people questions. Practice being direct about big topics. L is for listen. And the big thing with listening is listening with curiosity. So asking people a lot of questions and listening without judgment, giving them the space to open up to you and tell them whatever it is that's on their mind. The E is encourage action. Depending on what it is that you're talking about, that can be really simple things like say, oh, yep, you've had these experiences. Have you had them before? What has helped you with those experiences in the past? Could you look at doing that sort of thing? So the last one is connect. Again, Distinguished Gentleman's Ride is a great way to connect with people. And for me personally, that was a big thing.
I love that you bring it back to the whole idea of the mental health and the connection element to it. Because funny enough, I attended DGR before moving to New Zealand all the way back in 2016. And I didn't have any of those ideas in mind. For me, as you said, it was just this parade, an opportunity to dress up and be there alongside the other people that wanted to be seen and just go for a ride. But there was just so much more going behind it. The whole idea of connecting to people and being there for them and getting everyone to look and think about all these things that go behind these concepts that DGR is trying to put out there for people to quite literally see and think about. I really like it.
Yeah, no, we're quite sneaky, but in a loving way. That's the thing with DGR and Movember. We're really big on health by stealth. A friend of mine kind of talks about it as putting the carrots in with the brownies.
So if someone is interested and they want to attend and get involved, do they need a bike? Do they need to dress up? How does it usually work?
It's a good question. If you want to be part of the ride, then yep, you're going to need a bike, or you're going to need a friend with a bike who you can be on the back of. Then you could participate as a pillion. Ideally, what we really want to see is people entering with kind of classic themed bikes. You can jump online to the website and have a look at the style guide. Some of the rides might still be looking for volunteers. So that's another way to get involved if you don't have a bike or you're concerned that your bike's not going to be within the style guide. A great way to get involved is find someone else who's involved, donate to their page and help make a difference that way.
At the end of the day, this is a charity event and it is backing very important causes that if it is about maybe you not having a bike, not knowing how to ride, you can still participate and you can still move those needles in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, one of the other ways that you can get involved is basically get involved with the spirit of DGR and look into something like Movember Conversations and getting up to speed on those ALEC-based tools. We've got 14 rides happening throughout New Zealand. So have a look around. We've got rides running from Whangarei down to Invercargill. And depending on when exactly you're seeing this, if there's not a ride near you, be bold. See if you can become a host in your own area. It'd be great to see one up further than Whangarei if we could get one. That'd be cool.
And then if you got excited and if you really want to be part of it, either by riding, donating, or just being there to watch the parade, just look up the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride 2026. The website, I think, is gentlemansride.com. They're all over on socials. You might even see Brad's face there and all the stuff that they are promoting. And I will be there. So it will be great to be part of that super cool event once again. And I hope to see you there.
Yeah, thank you. I hope to see you all there as well. It'd be great to see you. Cheers.
Brad, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's everything you've always wanted. The all-new Suzuki Fronx.
It's time now for the news, and I think we should start off with something a little bit local, and that's with Thunder Ridge, so the new motorsport park and racetrack that's opening up somewhere out of, I think, Rotorua and Tauranga and that part of the country. Well, they have broken ground on it, so that's a huge, I think, step forward there. Cheers to that. And the other really cool thing is they have snapped up 4 buildings from the old Pukekohe Park motorsport facility, which they're basically just going to pick up and drop at this new Thunder Ridge.
Can I just say, Thunder Ridge, what a cool name for a motorsport park. Regardless of anything else, it's just, Pukekohe's got its tradition and all that sort of stuff, but Pukekohe is just usurped by Thunder Ridge. Who doesn't want to drive on Thunder Ridge?
Yeah, you immediately just want to go fast in a place that is named like that, right? And if it can keep the legacy of Pukekohe going forward by having those buildings, it's amazing. New Zealand is already punching above its weight in terms of the quality and the number of the racetracks that we have. The more, the merrier, as always.
Absolutely. I wonder if they're going to invite us there. Yes. That's we want to be there and breaking ground and breaking traction, really. I guess that'd be great.
Although you don't really need a track to do that, right? That's a different issue altogether.
But on the matter of tracks...
Indeed. So Ford recently took their GT Mark IV to the Nürburgring, of course, a proving ground for, well, lap times, as it turns out. And what they did was they set the fastest ever lap by an American car. So they lapped 6 minutes and 15 seconds and some milliseconds, which is considerably faster, nearly 40 seconds or 40 seconds faster than the previous record holder, which was a Chevrolet Corvette ZR1X. So a huge moment there, and it's the 3rd fastest car to go around the Nürburgring of all time. So really impressive.
That time is basically the same time as I get on a virtual thing. I can
on
get
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I can do.
All right.
Yeah, I just go shooting down that straight and always mess up in the end, so I crash. But it's phenomenal. It's great to see that ice still has a place in the track, and great to see. I mean, it's such a good-looking vehicle, and another car I'd really love to drive. I know that's not a production car though. I think that's where it does come unstuck.
Funny enough that with the whole thing of trying to secure the top spot for individual metrics, first of all, we cannot underestimate how important of a figure this is. But on the topic you just raised, to grab that top spot, Ford are saying that this is the fastest car around the Nürburgring that you can buy. Because one of those is going to be made available under a certain set of circumstances. So then it also takes the spot from other cars that were faster, but are not available for sale in any shape or form. So it's great that it is the fastest American, that it is the fastest that is ICE only, and also that you can buy.
Yeah, I think people will be lining up to buy it. To be straight, it's one of those cars that would be, it's iconic anyway, and then given any form of record is something that makes it desirable. So yeah, fingers crossed. I'll sell some good advertising, and we'll be able to buy it for the company.
And on the topic of, well, legendary American nameplates, I have to say that, well, exciting news because Chevrolet are bringing the Camaro back. And
Camaro?
We had a discussion about this earlier. It's like a potato thing, right? So make sure you comment or write in about how exactly you would pronounce those letters. You have a different take as well.
The fact that the Camaro was never available in right-hand drive should be more than enough of an answer that there is only one way to pronounce that right. And it's not because I am South, but still American.
Look, it's good to see another, I guess, nameplate badge or whatever it is brought back to life. Is it an EV perchance? Done in China?
Actually. So thankfully, they have confirmed not much, but the few important details. So it's going to come back in 2027 as a front engine, rear wheel drive sports car, likely to be ICE predominantly, and it's going to be based on a platform that the Cadillac CT5 uses at the moment, and that is a really fun sedan and has been remarked by Americans of how fun it is to drive. So it should be good for the Camaro. But
in a straight line.
This one actually can handle, supposedly. So funnily enough, this isn't the first time that Chevrolet have taken a break between Camaro generations either. They did it between the 4th and 5th generation, which they, as you'll remember, launched with the 2007 Transformers film. Now, this connection goes a little bit deeper because the Transformers franchises have actually signed back Michael Bay to do the next film. And so could we see a Bumblebee Camaro reborn in that new Transformers franchise? So who knows? Now, in slightly less exciting news, McLaren, renowned for their supercars, their hypercars, their F1 team, have decided that they're going to get into golf.
Okay, this is where I just leave. A different form of driver, I guess, but boring as just boring as can be, really. Why would they get involved in golf?
So in a nutshell, what they're thinking is that we've done all this research and development on carbon fiber and aluminium and all these materials for our hypercars and, F1 team. So why don't we just take all of that knowledge and apply it to golf clubs, which rich people can go around swinging, across the globe?
I'd prefer if they did golf carts. And super fast golf carts that you could then completely go from hole to hole, how many, 12 holes, 8 holes, I don't know what they are, but you just go straight past them and go straight to the 18th hole or the 19th hole, isn't it, and drink. Fair play to them getting it. I mean, it would be a cheaper way to get hold of a McLaren, but don't they do watches though as well? No, but they do a lot of headphones with Bowers & Wilkins. And some other stuff.
And not too long ago.
So they've dabbled in other stuff. Yeah.
But bringing it back to cars, Bridgestone have just released the new generation of their Potenza performance tires. And Dave gets to go to Queensland to try them out, and that's up next.
Today we're in Queensland. Actually, we were at the Norwell Motorplex Park, somewhere near the Sunshine Coast, and we're here thanks to Bridgestone, and we're checking out their new tyre, or their new performance tyre, which is the Potenza Adrenalin RE005. It's supposed to be better on the dry and also better on the wet. So we're actually going to go through both of them. We're going to be on the skid pan, we're going to be doing slaloms, and we're going to be doing some hot laps. So come and join us on this one. The RE005 is the latest generation in the iconic Potenza Adrenalin line, Bridgestone's street performance tyre. Renowned for its aggressive design, strong street presence, and outstanding value, the Adrenalin range delivers the handling, wet traction, and durability everyday enthusiasts demand. So what's new about this 005? Basically, there's a new rubber compound. This new generation rubber compound delivers next level performance with enhanced grip, improved responsiveness, and greater confidence and control across a wide range of driving conditions. The tyre itself features an optimized contact patch and wide block design to ensure a more uniform pressure distribution, delivering superb handling and grip in wet and dry conditions. There's a wide inside rib which enhances steering responsiveness and stability, contributing to a more connected and engaging driving experience. The signature A-shaped groove promotes traction in adverse conditions, helping maintain control. It also has an advanced rain pulse groove. Maximised water channel grooves efficiently evacuate water from the tread surface, reducing aquaplaning and maintaining excellent grip and control in wet conditions. The advanced compound delivers excellent heat resistance for consistent handling, while the performance-focused construction enhances responsiveness, reliability and long-term durability. They've redeveloped the connecting blocks, reinforcing the outer tread area, enhancing cornering stability, delivering more control through turns. And finally, the multi-round block optimizes contact pressure at the shoulder block edge, helping to prevent irregular wear. The big thing about today is all about these tyres and how magnificent they are. Actually licensed to thrill apparently, which is an interesting statement, and I guess that goes along with the 00s, but although we're still on 005 at the moment, so I assume that 007 will be even better, but we'll wait for that one. Now the 005 is the replacement, or I guess the next step in the evolution from the 003 actually. There was a 004, but what happened was they didn't bring it into Australia or Australia and New Zealand because it wasn't up to scratch as far as in terms of performance when it comes to dry and wet tracks or wet weather. So therefore they've gone straight for the 5, and to be honest, we've driven it on the track, so we've done some slalom work and we've also done some skid pan stuff, and what that means, it has actually performed so well. So I'm very impressed with it. Now we're going to do some, I guess, spirited driving as a hot lap, which will be hot-ish laps. So we're just going to have some fun with it. But it's all about how the tyre is set up. It's better in every way over the 003. And even with the skidding sounds that you're hearing at the moment, everything feels so in tune and so, I don't know, together, which is just great. It's better in rolling capability, it's better in grip, it's better in handling, and actually just better all round. And what that means, particularly in a car like this, you can have so much more fun. And when you've got somebody, well, a trusted poor guy,
some poor fella next to you,
has to hold on for his dear life, who's trying desperately to direct me while I'm driving badly and also talking badly. He has to listen to this, but tremendous. So as you'll probably hear, there's a lot of squealing going on, and some of it from the instructor that I've got, which is fine. So I've got to try to master this corner. So
we're gonna go past the purple, keep going, now we turn in tight, pick that throttle up, use up that track. That's the line we want. We're going past the corner,
yeah,
we're turning back into it.
Gotcha.
That gets us nice and straight and allows us to get on that throttle early. What do we think of the lateral grip?
It's just great. The way that this car lets you do whatever you want to do.
One more.
And the way the tyre is so forgiving and corrects you when you are driving, it's so good.
It's also very predictable.
Yeah.
Well done, you drove very well. Very, very good driving. And hopefully a good bit of
good
fun.
driving, you see.
Yeah. So how'd you go?
He reckons it was the best he's ever seen. Actually, I taught him how to do stuff. I was that good. Grip's really good, really tight. Actually, the braking, if you put too much on, it brings it really to a grinding halt, or too much to a grinding halt. So the smooth is good, and you know, I'm smooth.
Yeah, hi, I'm Paul Morris from Norwell Motorplex, the owner-operator here, and we're here to do some high-performance driving and test out some Bridgestones. Okay, we're on the RE005 today. To me, this tyre is a tyre you can drive on the street, but also put it in that high-performance environment. Today we've got track day simulation, really, and the big thing I notice is just the way the tyre's designed with that semi-slick on the leading edge. You just don't get any of that overheating on the leading edge, and to get a product that you can use every day, but if you want to do some spirited driving, you know it's not going to let you down, is exceptional. Look, we see a lot of tyres, and we realise the most important thing on the car is what's in contact with the road, and that's the tyre. So we learn what's good and we learn what's bad, so we're really in the box seat to show people the performance of this tyre and what it can do. And for us, really, it can do two things at once. Can you turn the wheel and still brake and give the tyre some inputs it responds to, and it just ticks a lot of boxes. Yeah, if you're looking for a tyre that you want good grip in the wet for everyday use, but you want to go to a track day and you don't want to have semi-slicks, this is probably your best option. It's going to hang in there all day. You're not going to blow the leading edge out of it and be looking for a new set of tyres, which is really a failure zone when you take that car into that environment, is the leading edge. It just performs pretty well. So we've smashed them here, and I can tell you, they do their job.
So no season finale would be complete without a recap, correct? But before we get into that, we have something very special, and that is you guys have come along a journey with us for the 100,000 subscribership for YouTube, and they sent us a plaque. So we thought we'd open it in front of you. So we're going to do the whole thing. So opening up these two, there you go, it's authentic. And this one here, it's going to be a drum roll, perhaps. Look at this. You're along with us. This is a full unwrapping ceremony. Look at this. Oh, this
letter from YouTube.
There's a letter from the president saying how amazing we are. There you go. You get one of these. But the big thing is one of these. Look at this.
How pretty.
Look at this. Thank you for your participation, and thanks for joining us along the line for this. It's amazing. Anyway, moving on to the recaps.
Yes.
What's been your highlight?
So I have to say, what a season it's been. Season 2, obviously, and for the first time, I got let loose to go and do some of these international trips. The one I went on to South Australia, obviously, with Denza, that was quite cool to go into the sort of the red center of Australia. It took me weeks to get that red dust off my shoes and stuff like that, but memorable trip, and I got to rack up some air points. I was pretty happy about that.
I think the memorable part for us, or the highlight for that, is that Matthew is out of the country. So that was genius. Yeah, exactly.
And actually, that wasn't the only trip on a plane I got to take, courtesy of Tarmac Life. The other one was a very special weekend away. Oh, this is sounding terrible, with Harry for the Airburn Classic.
Can I just jump in on that? We don't work on a massive budget, it has to be said. So these two top and tailed in a bed. I think it was a single bed as well. So there you go, your money's well spent with us. But also, there was a stunt double at that one. So Ben joined us as a stunt double for me. I must say he's got a much better car knowledge.
He does indeed know a lot more about cars than Dave. He was giving me as well a history lesson about some of those cars during the episode, and I think that was a really fun weekend. And I guess to top it off, we got to do a kind of help host the live Sunday Drive auction that took place that weekend. I mean, 50 cars went on the block. They had a good amount of sales. Some really amazing ones went to people in the room and the bidding back and forth and all of that. It was, you know, one of the highlights, and making that film as well.
The other show we did was the Ellerslie Classic Show, which was us two. And that was great because that was a lot of film and TV stuff based around cars as well. You know, iconic cars that went on iconic TV shows and movies. And that was great. Good to see the Magnum car. That was a highlight for me, and the Cobra.
Bumblebee Camaro, the Dukes of Hazzard Charger, like the list of movie and film cars that were there was just, yeah, off the charts.
And the other thing I got to do, which was go to Spain. So we managed to...
Hang on, didn't you go last year?
Yeah, no, that was the whole thing. When I was in Spain last year, just so often, but we filmed the i3. Got to see the i3, but I had to sit on the film for, or the intro thing for about 4 months, 5 months. It was a long time before we could release that stuff to show you guys. So that was kind of another, I guess it was a last season, this season crossover. There you go. Was there any more highlights for you?
Well, there was one topic that is always interesting to bring up, which is, of course, with my segment, which is Tarmac Talk. We get this incredible opportunity to talk to so many interesting people that are doing stuff that is in and around cars. So it allows us to get different points of view and speak to very, very interesting people. And of course, there are always highlights in there. Well, a few of them had to do with stuff that we did as part of the ads or the content that we shot. And then in the topic of ads, we still have the stuff with Steve, which of course was very, very a lot of fun, and getting to scout places and then have a conversation with him.
But interestingly enough, you spent how many hours with Steve?
Many, but
something you didn't come away with is the jacket. So we still got the jackets. He got a handshake, which is fine.
Now, bringing it back to this season, and in particular this episode, I think it's time that we pick up on that Subaru Outback review that we kicked off earlier on. That's up next.
Okay, gents, for this next challenge, the water is a bit of a giveaway here, but we're going to test out which one's got the best suspension. So what we're going to do is I'm going to sit beside you. I'm going to fill this water with this cup with water, and whoever comes with the least amount of water is the loser. The one with the most is the winner. However, there is a catch, because I may have to wear it. But whoever loses will have to drink it, and it's going to be this water. So not the nicest, but there you go. So I trust you're going to have to work on your driving skills. I'm not happy about this. Now I've decided that this wasn't a good idea.
Oh, believe me, you are not going to regret this, because I know that here it is all about consistency. We are not timing anything. I'll just rely on X mode and we'll be very slow. So now that we are approaching this big downhill, I'll actually let the car do some of the work for me. We are now doing 3 kilometers an hour. I'll take the foot off the brake and I will let hill descent control do the work. So if it gets you wet, it's the car's fault, not mine. Yeah, look at me go.
Oh, look at this.
It's so smooth. I'm not touching anything, I'm just deciding where the car is supposed to go. It is doing all the braking on my behalf. Just like that. I take
take your control.
The moment I take control, you get wet. And then as we keep going,
stop.
Yeah, that's the tricky bit. Come on,
that's the tricky bit.
We have to make it. And this is where I will prove that having the electronic dampers will help me.
Stop.
Oh no!
So, actually, you're in between.
Not even a sip.
Yeah, so you're halfway between the two lines. So, not bad at all, actually.
That's right. Just you wait until Matt finishes and it's like the cup is half empty.
I'm going to take this one nice and slowly, because I can't have 2 losses from 2.
I'm already getting soaked. Can you drive slowly? And not side to side.
No. This isn't a race, right? Just to confirm.
Well, no, we're obviously not against the clock, but then you'd be used to that. You're doing the slow bit, but not necessarily the steady bit. Are you doing this on purpose?
No, you can see my...
No, there's some concentration, but...
Oh, that was...
I'm not going to tell you who won or who lost.
I reckon it's close. I reckon it's close.
I have to say it was closer than I thought it would be. So good driving on both of you. But fair play, there has to be a winner. And
thank you very much.
There you go. So the pond water is all yours, being slightly worse. Drink up. Come on. Accept your medicine. The last challenge, basically, I'm going to get you guys to do a road drive, but I want you to both drive both cars or swap cars and see how we get on. So that'll be your final challenge.
Everything that has always been good about the Outback is here and improved.
A car like this, of course, being a modern day vehicle, has to have its fair share of technology, and you do have the connectivity, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all of that stuff sorted. But Subaru does also have its eyesight technology, which keeps an eye on not just the driver's attention on the road, but also the road itself in terms of your lane departure warning and things like that. And I have noticed the car does beep at you a fair bit when you haven't got your eyes exactly where it would like it to be. Even if you are looking at the road.
It is a little bit interesting that you cannot turn it off if you are using the rest of the features of eyesight, such as the adaptive cruise control and the lane keeping assist. So Subaru have always been going for that thing about road safety and making sure that you are safe inside of the car, and this is just another step in that direction. All these systems have been greatly improved, but I don't think that it tells the whole story, because if you've been in one of the Outbacks from the past, you would know how much the tech was behind and was lagging in terms of the quality of the screen and how quickly everything moved around. I cannot stress enough how much of a step forward this is. Not only have the screens gone bigger, but more than that, it is about their understanding of getting the fundamentals done right. It is much easier to navigate around this new system. It is so much quicker to load and to make things available to you. So then if you just want to use your phone projection, that's it. You plug in, you're done, and you are good to go. It is a little bit of a head scratcher that even in the wilderness that we had, you don't get front parking sensors, you don't get a 360 camera. Those that only comes as an option, but still, it is getting a lot of the technology done so well. It is really a step forward, and one that I'm really happy to see.
Exactly, we got some physical air conditioning controls, which are excellent, rather than on the previous generation car in Starlink, the controls were in there, but they've departed from that now and separated the screen and the controls, which is amazing. You get heated seats for the front too in this base model Outback, which is not bad at all. You have that boxer engine, you have the symmetrical all-wheel drive, but I have to say, fuel efficiency is not brilliant, is it? They claim you'll get about 8 liters per 100 Ks. I've been driving conservatively, I would say, and I can see that the gauge says 10.3 at the moment, so
it is almost like it adds a little bit of insult to injury when this is the one that is supposed to be the most efficient. When you are starting from the car that is naturally aspirated and that is a little bit down on power. In the topic of being down on power, one of the things that you get is that it just is. It is not the fastest thing out there. It needs a little bit of time to get the CVT working with you and just adding all the power. And then again, and at this point, it is just the two of us, right? Don't get me wrong. I really like this CVT. I think that it is perfectly fit for the purpose of the Outback. It is extremely smooth around town, and on the stop and go traffic, it handles that no problem whatsoever. It's just not the most exciting thing out there, right? So I think that maybe adding the turbocharger and a little bit more power might make the wilderness even more interesting. So I reckon now it's time for you to go on a drive.
Now I want to talk about what that upgrade gets you. So you have the base model Outback, which is 55,000, and then you take the step up to this, which is just a shade under 70, 69, 990. You have not just those cosmetic improvements with this Wilderness, but you have mechanical functional improvements as well. So firstly, those electric dampers or electronic dampers, that it has really improved the ride, which was, don't get me wrong, already quite good on the base model Outback. You jump into this Wilderness and that extra suspension travel that it has, and the dampers make the ride off-road even better.
At the end of the day, both models come with the same tires, so everything that you get in terms of road manners and off-road ability is going to be sort of determined by that to a certain extent. But the fact that here, in this case, you get the extra X mode, you get the better suspension, and then you also get the higher ground clearance, just amps it up a little bit more. And this ability that this Outback has to not only do it very well here on the tarmac where we are, but also then off-road as we were just now, was really impressive. It is really easy to just dismiss off-road driving that you see on video because it never looks as intense as it actually is, but we were getting quite a bit of articulation, wheels off the ground and all those things, and it never seemed to phase what we were doing with the Outback. I really think that you have to be going for something a little bit more intense, a little bit more hardcore before you actually face the limits of the car.
Again, it does come at a cost in terms of fuel efficiency. Again, we're averaging about mid-10s liters per 100 kilometers here.
And of course, you will never say no to more power, right? So especially if you were doing a little bit of towing, or if you were going to go up very tricky situations, having that extra power is going to be very welcome, especially when it comes accompanied by all the other hardware that you get in here. So the Wilderness justifies its presence while still making the regular Outback feel very much a compelling package.
Well, that was a ton of fun, and I just want to say I'm glad to be dry around here. It's incontinence pads. I should be something on there. But which brings me on to the next thing. Which one did you like? Which one was your favorite?
Well, I had the base Outback all-wheel drive, and I have to say, as a entry-level offering into that Outback range, it was such a good bit of kit. Not just for the fact that, look, it's an Outback, you got the legendary nameplate, all of that, but it was a very misty morning, soaking wet grass, fairly steep climb up that hill as well. And this thing could do that. It could do the gravel track. It could do, you know, everything around the farm. Even when we were told that, hey, I don't think that's going to get up there, you know, and the base model Outback did it. And then you add more power.
Eventually.
You know, that was admittedly more down to the driver than the car, I have to say. But as a entry into the Outback nameplate, I think that base model does so well. And then you add more power and all the dressing. And
if you are then a little bit more of a rush, you can go then for the Wilderness, right? Which just adds so much more capability, gets more power, which is the more modern and the more desirable engine, let's call it that way. The ground clearance, of course, the bragging rights, and just the looks, because I just think that it looks so much more distinctive. It's no longer that democratic look that the Subarus used to have. It is a little bit more in your face right now, and it's sort of a love it or hate it. I, of course, love it. And I think that it is exactly what they needed to do for the Outback, listening to what customers like about the cars, addressing a few of the niggles that the car used to have, and it's just such a big improvement. I really like it.
So there you have it, a finale full of special moments and very special memories. And all we have to say is thanks for joining us, and see you next season. See ya.
We should should move then a little bit more to that side.
Well, just keep moving. Keep moving.
You go.
You just keep
Just
moving.
go stand over there,
fine.
is that? Okay. Do you realize that the hat casts a shadow over your face?
I haven't watched it. It could look very weird. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so no end of season. So no end of season recap would be complete without no season end of season. So no end of season episode would be correct or fulfilled until we've done a full. I'm just babbling, aren't I?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Kira, welcome to Tarmac, and no, that's not what I wanted, is it? I think we can do it right. What do you reckon? Yeah.
Okay, mister.
GWM now was selling cars?
Okay, team, time to move some metal. Jackson, show them what a real workhorse can do. Tanner, let them feel what it means to be more tank. Wade, give them a taste of that GWM pace. Remember, we're selling more tech, more power, more choice than they ever knew they had.
Find yourself a car, and maybe the was, at your local GWM dealer.
This is my jam!